Hey there, YouTube. You clicked this video because you already know what it is. It's that Road to 315 bench press series where I'm going to show you how I'm going to get to 315. I'm going to teach you how you can get to 315, right? The weights are moving heavy. We're making progress. I'm feeling strong. My bench form is locked in. My leg drive is going. So there's your summary. Let's get right into it. Last week, I was lifting 275 for 5 sets of 2 to 3 reps. So couldn't handle that weight for higher reps. Can handle it for more sets. Get the stimulus in. This week I'm pulling back in the weight. I'm at around 70%, maybe a little higher. So that leaves me around 205, 210-ish. And I'm just trying to recover, but I'm still aiming for just a heavier set, a bit better of a rep PR here. Maybe even if not for reps, just sets across, just how many times I'm going to do this, right? Like, you don't have to lift the same weight every week. I think I've said this before. And if you do, you're going to be setting yourself up for a lot of fatigue and not a lot of recovery, and that's going to make your life harder. But I took a quick break in between. Everything is looking good, right? I figured out the secret sauce to getting stronger. It's just really just balancing sets across. So how many sets you're going to do in that workout with a heavy enough weight to push progression. Now, as you get heavier, you may drop the reps, but then you have to pull back and you're going to build back up, maybe a little faster than before. Try to find these PRs in between, right? So that's what we've been doing for weeks. Everything's working. It's feeling strong. I did say that I had to add a little more weight, and I think this is kind of an important point to point out. We know that certain rep ranges are effective for different things, right? Lower reps can be more effective than strength. For strength, higher reps can be more effective for muscle size and endurance. And so when I put on the initial 70%, I was lifting higher reps. I mean, at 10, 11, 12 for a couple sets. It felt easy. And so in my head, I like, hey, I got to add some weight to bump these rep numbers down forcibly, right? It's not a bad thing. It means my rep PR is higher than 275. But when you're training for specific goals, you want to stay in these specific rep ranges that can be beneficial for you. You see me doing right now that lock dream movement with a couple extra variations, just moving my arms in different planes of motion, right? Doing something your body's not used to with resistance will make you stronger. If you didn't know, now you do. So I do the lock dream, but I also do it in different ways just because I feel like my back and my shoulders were weak when I was moving it around. I felt weak, right? Like I'm getting owned by 2.5 and 5 pound weights. It looks easy, I would say, but if you try it, you'll find that like these muscles, at least in me, were a little undertrained. Now it's part of my issue, and so I want the whole area to be strong, not just in those specific rep ranges. And I really feel like it's helped me with my back tightness. It's helped me with my arch. Sorry there, guys. I got a call in the middle of recording. But I was saying it helped me with my arch, my scapular retraction, just pulling my shoulders back and down in that bench. So that's why I like that lock three. You see here, like, I don't know about you, but these bench reps, they just feel cleaner personally. I'm feeling, it's just like the damn perk of doing something 100 or 1,000 times. Like, you feel a variation in your body, even if you're not looking, right? Proprioceptive awareness is a hell of a thing. You feel when something is not moving the way it's supposed to be against something else, or if something is not angled right, just by grabbing. And so, like, that's a benefit to doing something a lot, in addition to just gaining the strength and just repetition, just practicing these reps over and over. Like, I'm going to be honest, I am starting to hate bench press. But I'm seeing progress, so it's like I'm only hating it because I'm just doing it so much and so critical of it. But it is what it is, right? So I got my heavy sets over. This is my more chest focused, chest centric work, right? This is an isolateral chest machine. My intention when getting on this machine is I just want to use my chest. So I don't want to use any leg drive. I just want to use my chest muscles, the pressing muscles, the triceps, a little bit of the shoulders. I want to work on all of that stuff a little bit more. And where the bench might take it too far, this is completely in my hands. Machines are easy. Yeah, it doesn't provide as good of a stretch as a dumbbell press, but I find you can still get a little leg drive in there. So if that's not what you want, that's not what you should be doing. I think we're getting towards the end of me doing my bench sets. But like even now, like look at my feet. I'm learning that my feet don't really have to be flat all the way to really initiate leg drive. I'm learning that when my ankles are pointed in towards the bench, towards that middle structure, it's a little easier to use my leg drive than if they're pointed straight on. All these little things, you just do. You just find out after feeling enough. You see me press my luck, try too far. But hey, I mean, the nice thing is I can just stand up and flip around. I wonder if it'll get too heavy for me to do that one day. I kind of hope so, just because I like lifting heavy weights. Okay, you see me moving on. I really only do about 3 to 4 chest exercises, then a couple tricep and a couple shoulder things in my workout. So maybe like 7 or 8 I try to end up at. These I'm doing for the stretch, right? I try to keep my elbow in. I'm learning if you try to touch your elbows together with the machine fly or cable flies, I kind of feel that squeeze in my pec a little bit more. So very useful. Just trying to hype myself up there. That's some bro shit right there. But if you pull your elbows together, as you bring your hands in closer, it really helps feel that stretch in the pec. And so that's what I do. According to feet, your feet should be up against something stable. I'm a little short. I do move them around a lot. If your feet are moving around a lot, you're not stable. If you're not stable, you're not able to use the maximum amount of force that your body can produce. Enough of that rant, right? So moving on, certain exercises, right? Like I treat them differently. They're primary, secondary, tertiary. Primary would be like the compounds or what you really want to excel in at this time. Secondary is just like an accessory or things you want to improve on the side. And then in my head, tertiaries, they're right with the secondary exercise, but there are just things that serve better. And so that's why I do the secondary most of the time first. I'm saying this because like I treat them differently. I use different rep ranges in them, and science will probably come out and tell me I'm wrong, no doubt. But like with tertiary exercises, I really don't really care about the rep ranges all the time. I would say, not these don't qualify. With tertiary, I don't care about the rep ranges. I just try to do it for a good pump or until I feel tightness in the muscle or until I feel like the muscle is too tired to produce force in the way I want, right? Like the machine fly is a great example. I don't know. I don't really like the machine fly. I would prefer a dumbbell fly, but that makes my shoulders, it has been kind of irritating them enough, oddly, lately. So it's just like back off. It's like there's no reason to. It must be the way is hanging in the air. The machine fly doesn't give me that problem, but it's a tertiary exercise. I have other ways to get a stretch in my chest. I'm just doing it as a staple in my workout because I feel it works to some degree, but who knows how much. And so I don't really count the reps on that. I say that to say, this long ass rant, my bad guys, exercises have different purposes, right? Primaries, you might want to push for lower reps if you're trying to get strength, or higher reps, you're trying to improve your endurance. Secondary exercises should support the primary in some way. And then tertiary, they're out there. They can be useful. Other things might be more useful for them. Not everything has the same value to me. So we're doing these lock 3. I think this is the funny video. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. One, you should. If you like, I'm going to go ahead and plug myself here. If you like this video, go ahead, like, subscribe. Please send it to your friends. Would greatly appreciate it. We're trying to grow the channel here. But on Instagram, I gave myself a kill shot in the gym the other day. And I mean, here's the video. It was a decent set. These are my French presses, right? I think I said before in another video. I know I said it. I like to go wild and heavy, fast and loose. I don't think either of those are applicable terms, but like I like to just fling these, right? Like I am still trying to keep my elbows in. I am aware they move slightly, but when I come up after they move behind my head, I really try to focus on that extension of the elbows. I use this as something to try to train my triceps to be a little more explosive. I find that they really help in my bench press. So I'm not as strict in my form as with a tricep extension or a French press, but I just kind of let it loose, a little bit of explosive set here. So if you see me kind of moving around the bench, that's what we're aiming for. I am banging out a lot of singles because I had this weight last week, and I kind of, there it is. There it is. You see that one? We're not going to rewind that, but you can. That was a real bell ringer. That hurt. But what I was saying before that was I had 90 pounds last week on the accessory, just gradually trying to increase those 5 to 10 pounds every couple of weeks. And then I kind of reset them at the beginning of a mesocycle again. Just something I like to do. Another push or stretch exercise for my chest is my dumbbell pullovers. These are really great just because they let you rotate your shoulders, they stretch your chest, and they are so similar to a dumbbell tricep extension. I know there has to be some slight use of the triceps. So they work for three things. And so they work for all three muscles I'm training that day. That's a steal of an exercise to me. And so I always try to make sure I do these. I just try to get a big stretch at the end. See, you just switch right over to tricep extensions. But just a caveat, depending on where the weight gets stuck, is where the weight gets stuck, man. The shoulders are a finicky muscle, right? So we don't want to compromise them more than useful. You saw that set. If you think the set's going to be hard as hell to get up from behind your head, drop the weight and save your shoulders. You can always live to work out another day. If you injure your shoulders, that is something a lot of people live with for the rest of their life. So just a word of advice from me to you. And lastly, here are some chest flies. I kind of switch it up between these and the machine flies. Again, I only do 1 or 2 sets of those and then come back with maybe 1 or 2 sets of these towards the end. The cables give you a different kind of pull. They pull directly in whatever direction the cable is tethered. So it's direct tension on that muscle in whatever way you kind of orient yourself. But as always, thanks for watching. Hope I taught you guys something with this video. And give this video a like and stay tuned for more. Because we are going to 315. We're going there full throttle.